So what is going on again, guys? This is Axe Air from Kansas City. So, KVK is over, and I had some pretty humbling experience. But you got to keep in mind that um, it's not necessarily that something I haven't experienced before. I have experienced it before, and it is what it is, you know. But I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here. Um, as you can see, I'm down about 50 million mites. Some of that came from the T3, T2 testing that I did, where I still got some T4s in there and a lot of T3s and T2s, T1s, things like that. Um, but um, but I lost a significant amount of T5s in the um, KVK. So KVK came around. Now I made about 5 videos, guys, of going around trying to solo some things, and man, I'm talking about the places were empty. So rather than just really do nothing for KVK, I just did some wonder battles, and I was demolished. I mean, literally, I was demolished, guys. I didn't even compete well. So what I did is I set up some uh, I set up some and I'm gonna go over it with you guys. But I set up some uh, in the wonders. I set up, the full march. I put on my gear, and I want to put on the gear I had on for KVK doing the wonder battles. I put on my mixed gear here, and I put my heroes out there. And let's take a look at some of the reports, guys. So the first report is this one right here, and I sat in the in the wonders in Lunar Fort, and just I put a hero in there, full march and gear on and things like that, and I put the best heroes or the best familiars I thought I had in there. So here's going to be the report, first report here. Now this is the Vietnam guild. They're pretty strong guild. Let's take a look at who I competed against first. Now he had some pretty fairly decent gear. Of course, this is not the gear he used when uh, he attacked the Wonders on me. So, and their team is pretty nice here. They got some uh, pretty good warring guild for Vietnamese guild. Pretty good, you know. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the meat of what I'm talking about here. So, uh, here was uh, the old thing. So I had 73. All this is all T5, guys. No T4s or anything like that. Full marches. There you can see our composition there. Troop composition, all full marches, and those results. I was in the infantry wedge, and he was in the range wedge. Now I'm putting this out here because of guys, if you got some advice or some when you review this and analyze and look at the stats here and the the makeup and everything, some of you can probably offer some advice, and I'm gonna talk about advice in a minute. But there you have that right there. He had Pack 5 there. He had a Pack 5. Well, that's not. I don't know if that's Pack 5 or not. Uh, that's a Pack 5, and then that there, and that there. And I will be able to see right here what those packs were in there. So he had a total of 5 pack 5s in his march against me. And as we can see here, one was the Brutal Bunny. It's a really good one. Hellish Curse, the Giant Fist, the Savage Breath, and the Divine Fire. So I sat in the lunar fort for a while, waiting until someone would come and challenge me, and I wasn't at my best form because I wasn't able to really counter as I thought I could. But I don't think in this situation it really would have mattered. So there we have what happened there, and there are the familiars that I had. So let's look at the battle there, and let's check it out. Yeah, as you can see, I turned off all that noise. Mm-hmm. So you can see, I think there was a vital lesson for me here. As humbling as it might have been, it still was a vital lesson. Uh, you see my morale is really going down. And as you notice, my familiars, I've only had one familiar that kicked in. Just one familiar that kicked in. Okay, so that was the first one there. Well, let's continue. Let's see the damage. This is all T5, guys. So that was the first one that he and I did. The next one was him again. And pretty much compared to the first one, let's see. The first one we had 878 million might lost 182. And then the next one we had even more damage. I think I went to Wayne's Ridge, and that didn't solve anything. Uh, 82 dead. Well, I did have less losses than the Calvary Phalanx. So um, so I did have less losses on this one. And let's look at the familiars that I did use on the first one. Let's go back to that one so we can see the familiars that I did use. That are all right there. Let's look at them right here. I used the Hellish Curse as well. The Long Shot, Shaman's Blessing, Lightning Strike, and the Tailwind. So that's the first one that I used, the heroes. On the second one, I used the same. Well, no, I think I changed it up a little bit. And they changed it up as well. And the results were a little different. Now I can tell, even though um, there's the stats right there, they still had 3-pack 5s this time instead of all damn near all pack 5s. So they had 60,000 T5 range dead, wounded, and then 40,000 of those dead. Whereas I had 80,000 dead and almost 40,000 each wounded. And let's see if in the battle, if my familiars were able to do anything this time. Now on the second person here, now we see the first one there, the turbo boost, and then he has the spirit sacrifice, increases the range attack. So the players were more experienced, as you noted by the kills that they have. You can kind of gauge sometimes by the kills that they have. uh, you can kind of gauge by the kills sometimes that they have that if they're more experienced or not. You know. So I did get some. The battle did progress a little better, but not in my favor. But it was better, and but I still didn't win. And so, yeah, one thing is for certain is you don't see all of my uh, familiars in action. So there you have it the second time. So a little different from the first one than the second one. My bad, I hit the wrong thing there. Okay, so that was the second battle. And I noticed after the second battle, we went to the third battle, which is against someone else. They popped up, and I kept going. But this person here, I noticed he had to get healing. He had to get some resources. So I think it proved a little too much for him after the second round. I don't think that was something he wanted to continue doing uh, because of the cost of the T5s, uh, which I would have kept going, which you see I did. Now, this one was a little different. This was the next battle here. As you can see, my losses were more sustained, should I say, sustainable losses on this one. 239, which I think in the first battle I had, in the first one, no, I didn't have that either in the first one, which was 207. But in the third one, I had more losses, 239, and more dead. And they had much less losses. Uh, and and so, of course, this was not the gear that they had. They had, of course, they had all cups and things like that. Few champ pieces. So let's go back to the battle here. Let's look at the familiars. Brutal Bunny, Stinging Swarm, Long Range, Savage Breath, and a Tailwind. And I had and let's look at the battle. So as you can see on this one, they had 3 Pack 5s in that one of familiars, and there's their losses. They had almost 60,000 wounded and 30, almost 40 dead, whereas I had almost 100 dead and 140 wounded. It's a lot of T5s that's lost there. All right, let's look at it. So the first guy, he didn't participate anymore. He stayed there for a while, but like he kind of watched me and the other guy right here, and that's my army. Okay, and here's this guy. I think I had it backwards last time. Yeah, that stun works pretty good. Putting on me and the swarming things that he's doing. Even though his morale on this second guy went down a little deeper, I think, than the first guy. Uh, of course, I still lost. So a lot of casualties there, as I said, of that one. So then we go to the second battle, the next battle, and 250. So I'm more. I think I was in Calvary Phalanx. I was in Calvary Phalanx this time, and I was in Calvary Phalanx again this time. And I think I might have used the same heroes, maybe, or maybe I think I did. Okay, so let's go and check the battle report. So I lost way more on this one than the last one, and let's see what phalanx was he in? Range phalanx, and then he switched, and then he was in. I didn't mean to click that. He was in range phalanx. Uh, he was in range phalanx, and then he was in range phalanx again. So 12 million might 11.5. So it's just a slightly lost a little more this time, but I'm trying to see what accounted for it. Huh. Maybe I switched up a familiar or something from the first one. Yeah, I definitely switched up with familiars from the first one. I had these two here, Petrify, and the Stun one, and then I had that Boost one. Whereas the other one I had, this one I had um, way different. As you can see, I switched it up, so I did lost. When I changed familiars, I lost more. So let's look at the battle on that one. So I was less effective this time around, much less effective. So uh, I guess the um, uh, there he goes with his familiars. Little bunny and everything jumping off. So definitely more of a slaughter this time. And then we'll take a look at the last one. I kept the same gear on as well on this one. I think I kept the same gear on the entire time. So a slightly more loss there. Let's go to the last one here. Move it along. Now, as this one you can see, I lost much less. I switched to a range phalanx. No, I lost about the same. Somehow it switched on. Oh, I was on the attack. I think I attacked this time. I attacked this time. He went into the base, and then I attacked him. Uh, and I think so obviously I kept the same. Uh, I did switch up my familiars again. So let's see the battle. So I switched up some familiars again. Actually, I kept them the same. Actually, kept them the same. And only thing I did was change my phalanx. And they had wounded 55, 65, almost 70, and 50 dead, whereas I had 140 and almost 100 dead. But Calvary Phalanx that time, and this one was a cavalry phalanx again, range phalanx. And so we were in the same thing again. Let's look at the battle. This is the last one. So the last one kind of played out like the first one between him and he and I. And so um, I was trying to strategize on how I could counter and improve it. I wanted to win at least one, right? But that didn't happen. And I wondered for the most part, because I didn't know at the time, but I wondered, like, man, what is it? I knew it just wasn't gear. Their gear was not that much, if anything, superior to mine at all. And and um, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, either I looked and saw what they were sending. As far as the familiars, I didn't really like take all day to look and analyze everything because you're trying to war. You kind of like you kind of have to be in a sense. You kind of have to be in a sense uh, active and um, not so much as delaying because that could, cause the battle to cease. They could leave, So I tried to be as prompt and as quick as I could in uh, in analyzing and trying to counter or recalculate and seeing what I need to do. So there you have those battles. There's all the battles there. Uh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all the battles there. Well, we have one more, right? Let me see. We have one more. Me and this guy have one more. One more, guys. 247. So I lost a little more on this one, and they lost a little less. And I don't know what I did different this time. I used that one, the cavalry, the lightning, this and this, and they used the same thing. So we had one more, uh, and they switched up theirs a little bit, put a little T4s, and then they went all range, and that's what I used there. Or I switched up a little bit. I think I went all cav on him this time. I tried a cavalry. I tried a cavalry, but I didn't go into cavalry gear, as far as anything like that. I didn't switch my gear. Uh, yeah, I just got distracted. But I thought I would have. I wanted to switch to cavalry, see if that would help, but it didn't. So the cavalry blast didn't work. And so I was calculating on the next one, and then he pulled out. He left, but I was preparing for another hit. So yeah, it's a lot of losses, guys. Heavy losses compared to theirs, which is very little. So they suffered with the blast. They suffered much less, and I'll let you guys see this too as well. We're already 23 minutes, but let's because I want to show you guys this, and I want to show you the results afterwards. It's a little bit more to the story. So yeah. So I think the good thing about it is even though I lost, I was able to, with my understanding now of the game, I was able to um, at least learn from the loss. And so, uh, so yeah, the cavalry, and I didn't even go into cavalry gear to have the blast stats, of which I'm sure that would have helped because I'm just using cavalry, right? But and there's other things too, like I don't know if I had the proper leader when I was using the cavalry uh, in it. Uh, I think I did switch my leader to not be cavalry. I think I had infantry leader or something like that. But as far as phalanxes and things like that, yeah, I think I had the leader that I had was, yeah, but I didn't switch to cavalry. Um, so So after that, I sent the guy a message, and this is how it went, guys. I sent them both a message. Good game. Thank you. Will do. Okay, so let me hold on. Let's go back, guys. Let's go back. Let's do it like this. Here we go. I told him good game. Uh, Thank you. You're great too. Respect to you. I said thank you. Any advice for me? You know, upgrade your familiars. You have little HP. The decorations are bad because of the gear I had on at the time. Thank you. Will do. And so went back in action. I changed gears. I asked him which gear. He said first hand and 3 decorations. Change them. Is that better? Take a look. He says so much better. So I switched my gear to this one here, uh, to this one instead of what I had on, which for the HP and things like that. And then of course I have this piece here in forging. I have this piece here in forging right there. So yeah, I have that piece in forging. And so that was the cause for um, and I'm working on some familiar pack 5 stuff, and then of course the breakthroughs and things like that, and I purchased some other things just to get the cards, get some more gems and things like that. But so I am going to, as a result of that particular experience, uh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and the first one I'm going to do, what's it, right here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this one to level 5 and get this boost and then completely max this one out here. So I'll max this one out, and then after I'm done with that, I'll max this one out next. And the one I really do want, I'm gonna go and get this one too. So I'm gonna end up with 3 pack 5s here in the next couple of months. I'd say a couple of months, because I'm gonna use that buy one get one to kind of like help this uh, uh, to speed up the process, because this one has a ways to go, as you can see. So yeah, it was an experience, guys. It was an experience, and it was a learning experience. So maybe somebody tried something there. Bummed me out, huh? It's tired. It's like an hour or something. Anyway, so there you have it, there, guys. So there you have it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. So it was a humbling experience. It was a learning experience, and so now I see um, your. It takes practice. It takes practice, and like I said, it takes knowing which familiars to put in there, and So I'm gonna work on the familiars and work on the HP and things like that and gear, but I'm gonna work primarily first and foremost on my familiars and and then the gear like that. So that was a learning experience. If you got some comments on what do you think about the whole contest there and things I can do better, hey, let me know. You guys already told me gear and familiars, or most people have always said gear, and then familiars too. So that's what I'm working on. I'm out.